Well, here we are again. So you know that game, Where's Waldo? So where's Arnie? Take a guess. I've been everywhere. I've been to the beach. I've been to space. Hmm, maybe San Francisco. As you can see, the sun's coming up, or maybe I guess it's going down. But anyway, hope that you are doing well. Happy May. Today is May 5th for me. And hopefully people enjoyed May 4th, or May the 4th be with you. It was interesting to see some of the face masks that people were wearing, and how some of our employees dressed up. I tell you, with everything going on, coming out of COVID, I know we're not quite there yet, but I'm just so excited again to just see life. Dining room, I'm glad to see our residents eating together. I just see a new pep in the step, both with residents and staff and just people in general. So things continue to change. We continue to get a multitude of updates from various agencies, CMS, our health department, the state. So please continue to read Missy and Donna's weekly updates. It's full of information. They have done a fabulous job communicating with us throughout this whole COVID pandemic. And again, please continue to give grace as we try to deal with a multitude of information coming. Governor Cooper continues to relax some restrictions. We expect some more coming in June, early June. I will still encourage you, although things have been loosened when you're in the hallways, things like that, please continue to wear your mask, continue to be diligent on that, because although pretty much all of our residents are vaccinated and a good portion of our staff, as we continue to have guests and things like that, we want to make sure that we're still doing our part till we get through this. But yes, a new day is here, and we are ready, and we welcome it with open arms, and just very excited about that. So if it feels like it was just a couple of weeks ago that I was talking to you, you're right. I missed my April normal chat date because of vacation, which was wonderful. And so here I am again, back on our regular schedule. I'm still looking forward to kind of moving away from this platform and getting back to live, face-to-face conversations with you. Although we'll still record them, still put them on Care Merge. Just very excited about seeing your beautiful faces and really having the opportunity to get questions from you so that I can answer them. Although y'all have not stopped asking me questions or letting me know what we need to work on, which I appreciate very much. It's still great to be in that community type setting. So something to look forward to. Want to talk about a couple of things. I want to start out with some transitions that are going on. And it's interesting that with everything going on, I could barely remember what happened yesterday. So I'm not sure in my last chat, I shared with you about Alice Carroll. Alice Carroll is our director of IT. Alice has been with us for a little over 40 years here at Friends Homes. Alice has done a multitude of things for Friends Homes. I feel like she's worked in every department. She's a nursing home administrator, social work, IT, dining, you name it, she's done it. And it's very sad because I'll tell you from a leadership standpoint, we thought we had a couple more years with Alice, but Alice is very fortunate that she's in a position that she has pretty much done a lot over those 40 years, especially in the last 4 or 5 years, as it relates to our information technology. And she's in a really good place, and she has decided to retire. And she'll be retiring in around, I think, the middle of July. And Alice, being the person she is, she's already found her replacement. And some of you have met him. His name is Mark Mitchell. He joined us about 8, 9, 10 months ago. And we brought Mark on with the idea of succession planning, knowing that Alice would retire at some point because she made that known. She's very professional in that way. And so anyway, Mark, if you had the opportunity, great guy, great addition to Friends Homes, and very excited about this growth opportunity. But we're very sad to see Alice go. With her, she takes a lot of knowledge. With her mom still lives on the Friends Homes Guilford in our Whittier Center. So we'll still see Alice, but we want to wish her all the best with that. But she'll be with us till July, but we're very fortunate that we've had her all these years, and many, many contributions to the overall success here at Friends Homes. Another one that we talked about was Dorian Edwards, and I think I talked about him last time. So Dorian is our Director of Life Enrichment. His last day is this Friday, which is May 7th. And Dorian is a nursing home administrator. He did his administrator training here at Friends Homes and in Scotia Village, which is a community of Presbyterian homes. But he did very well, passed all of his tests, and it didn't take long for people to seek him out. And so we're very excited. Dorian has a great opportunity at a community in Winston-Salem, where he'll be the nursing home administrator, and his last day is Friday. So if you get a chance to say goodbye to Dorian, please do. Dorian's been with us for some time now, and we're very excited for him and for just what he's going to do for the larger community. So very excited. This other one kind of caught us off guard as well, but we just found out last Friday, or it might have been Monday, Wanda Steele, who's our life enrichment coordinator here at Friends Homes Guilford, has let us know that she will be retiring at the end of May 31st. And so for those of you that know Wanda, Wanda's been with us for right at 10 years. And so Wanda made it known that she has been very grateful working at Friends Homes, loves the residents, loves the relationships that she has with you, but she's ready to retire, and we wish her all the best. Again, her last day will be May 31st. So if you get a chance to see Wanda and thank Wanda for all the years of contribution that she did, please do. And know that she's a little sad about that, but she also is looking forward to retirement and all the great things that it brings. So with that, Teresa Cox will be working closely with Missy and Donna to fill this very important role that Wanda currently holds. And so that process will start immediately, and it may take some time. Hopefully we might be able to fill that role before Wanda leaves, but it's gonna be tough. It's a tough market out there right now to find really good people. So again, very important role. So we'll continue to work on that. So I just want to share a couple of things before I get into some of the actual departments, things going on within departments. One of the things I'm very excited about, and we've talked about this over the past couple of years, there's this beautiful word called HIPAA, which really is a privacy. It really kind of covers making sure that we do not share more than we should be sharing. It's kind of a as needed basis. And over time, we've heard a lot from residents about wanting more information, even like if say someone is in the hospital or someone passes away. Sometimes we'll put up funeral announcements, but we don't have a picture, and people want to see a picture or whatever the case may be. And we've also have another reason that we like to be able to take photos, and that's really to showcase the life here at Friends Homes. And so in a marketing standpoint, we've been doing all this data analytics to try to continue to encourage people to come and why people come to Friends Homes. And what we've found is that when we put something on our Facebook or on our website or anything like that, that relates to residents, showing residents doing various activities and or staff, we get a lot of positive feedback. Not so much on another rendering of our construction project or a picture of my beautiful face, being funny there. But when they see pictures of you, residents, living, enjoying life, community. So we've been working with an attorney to pull together what's called a photo release that allows us the opportunity to take pictures of our residents with their permission, and then put that on various platforms, whether it's through, when I use the word social media, I still really do not fully understand social media. I think it's Facebook, things like that. But even when we're doing publications, or put something on our website, but it also has a broader benefit that it allows us to start using stuff internally, as far as people and their pictures and kind of what's going on as far as that. So with that being said, over the next 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to be putting out a form to all of our independent living residents. It's a photo release form. And remember, we had to work with an attorney. I love attorneys. They do a great job, but nothing is simple. So it is a one-page form, but it pretty much what it does, it allows you to sign off on how we can use your picture. And so you would have to initial a couple places. If you don't want us to use your picture, you have to initial there. The form is good for 10 years. And so once we get this form signed, we're going to have designated people that take pictures for our community. And so those people, it'll be very limited. It might be someone in resident services, it could be a marketing, it could be a couple residents at both campuses. When they are taking pictures of life here at Friends Homes, they will have access to this book, if you will, so they'll know who they can and cannot take pictures of, who they can and cannot use to showcase our community. So we're going to roll that out in the next 3 or 4 weeks to get your response. And we do need to get 100% response back. We're very hopeful that the majority of you will be very willing to allow us to use your face in the sense of showing life here at Friends Home. So whether we're having a program in the living room, or we have a group, the other day there's a group of people at the gazebo at Friends Homes Guilford residents, and they were just chatting. And I so much just want to come up there and take a picture. Today, I would have to take a picture. You would have to sign a form, and it's only good for that one picture. This one kind of allows us to for 10 years to use that. Now, here's the thing, it's important. We will still, when we're taking a picture, let people know that we're utilizing a picture. If you want to, not be part of it, we'll still let people know that. But it just removes that paperwork that we've been doing every time we take a picture, which is sometimes it's hard to find, y'all, because you're independent and you're always not at home. You have been for the last year, but prior to that, you were not, a lot of y'all were not at home, y'all were out and about. So just be looking for that coming to you in your mailboxes. We might have some chats with the hall chairs just to go over the form to answer any questions you may have. So excited about hopefully showcasing life here at Friends Homes. I want to talk a little bit about construction. If you're on the Guilford campus, it's moving. We started planning a little bit of landscaping. We'll see more landscaping coming in the next couple of weeks for the houses that are on the west side, I believe it is. Maybe it's the east side. I know my directions, but I get very confused depending on which side I'm looking at. But it's the side of townhomes that are closest to the Guilford campus. Those homes, in theory, are being turned over to us from a certificate of occupancy at the end of May. We'll have about 30 days to do a punch list. And then we think we'll start having people moving in sometime toward July, August. So very excited. So the fencing's coming down, landscaping will start going in. Again, if you drive down Ridgecrest, the road is tore up. So we're still working with the city on getting that repaired. Hopefully that'll be in the next couple months. But very excited about our Guilford campus. On our West campus, they're still blasting rock. I felt 2 yesterday while I was there. And we think the blasting will continue probably through next week, maybe an additional week after that, and then we should be done. We should start seeing things on the farm going vertical. Again, here in June, they continue to lay the bridge. It's continuing to come together, which is very exciting. And the wellness center, you see they're still putting up walls, pouring cement. We've got a little jungle on the little piece of property that is at the back of the wellness center that is not part of the construction site. So we're working on trying to get someone in there to cut the grass. Otherwise, we're going to be baling hay and selling it. But anyway, so working on that. But everything's continuing to move along. Very excited. Things continue to move on track. So hopefully we'll start seeing some vertical movement here on the West Campus as far as the farm very, very soon. What I'd like to do now is talk to you about a couple of departments and what's going on there. What I want to do is I want to start with an overall concept. The economy, more so trying to get good employees, it is a very tight labor market. And you wouldn't think that from the standpoint of with COVID, a lot of things shut down. But it's very hard to find people, continues to be very hard to find people. I'm going to give you a number, and the number is going to be shocking, but then hang with me. So typically for Friends Homes and really Presbyterian homes and really our industry, our nonprofit industry within North Carolina, typical turnover in our industry is somewhere between 20 and 30%. That sounds like a lot, but in our world, in the normal for-profit nursing world, which I know we're not just nursing, turnover is like 100%, 125%. Imagine that, okay? So Friends Homes, typically 20 to 30%. The last couple of years, the market has been very tight. And this past year, our turnover was 45%. Now, we have 425 employees between both campuses. Our turnover was 45%. So almost close to double what we're used to. So when you think about stress, when you think about service, we've got a bunch of new people that are just learning how things work. And I will tell you, we do these surveys. We've been doing it for about a year now with all staff, new staff, current staff, and we asked them for feedback. And one of the feedback that we get, and we've been talking to our leadership team, and I'm talking to our residents too, is that new people say that there's so much pressure that everybody expects them to know everything from the beginning. And so we have a lot of long-term employees. We have a lot of long-term residents. And so if you recall when you start a new job or just go somewhere new, it takes some time to get used to the pulse of the community and how things work. We have a lot of guidelines. We have a lot of knowledge, but there's always these unwritten rules, right? Or things that we learn over time. And so what I'm asking of our staff and our residents is continue to give grace as we bring on new people and welcome them to Friends Homes and the beautiful attributes that are afforded to us here at Friends Homes, but understand they have to learn. And a lot of these people came in during COVID. And so during COVID, our life was a lot different. You know, we've opened a dining room, we're doing transportation again. So with all that being said, it's stressful. And as I pointed out, it's hard to find good people. And there's really a multitude of reasons why, but it's just hard. Some people are actually doing better at home than they are with getting unemployment, things like that, than they would be paid if they came to places like Friends Homes. It's just a fact. There's some people that still COVID have daycare issues because school's not in session for some things. So there's a lot going on. So with that, we continue really across the board. Housekeeping, we have openings. Transportation, we have openings. Dining, we have openings. Nursing, we have openings. So we continue to do the best we can. We're getting ready to have a job fair next week. And so just continue to be patient, understanding at the end of the day, our job is to be here to take care and support you. And that's what we're going to do. but it's going to be a while before things settle. So just want to point that out. So first, let's talk about transportation. Transportation, public safety is really the term we're putting out there, because what we have done, or what we're doing, is we are kind of molding our transportation and our security under one department, public safety. We are moving in the direction that we're doing cross training. So in public safety, we're moving toward all of our employees being trained on how to drive our vehicles, as well as how to be, or being EMTs, which is awesome, as well as how to support our command center. Our command center is stationed out of the Whittier desk, and their primary job is a 24-hour job to monitor our nurse calls, fire alarms, answer phones, deal with any issues, and then give direction on how to support that. So as we're doing cross training, as we are moving to training our staff to be EMTs in public safety, we've had some transition. Not everybody wants to be an EMT. And really the reason we're doing that is we want them to be our first responders. So when we have a nurse call or an emergency type situation, in the past, it's always been our nursing from healthcare. Our nurses in healthcare are taking care of residents, and 8 times out of 10, they're in the middle taking care of a resident when they have to stop to go to independent living to check on something. It's not good for a lot of reasons, but that's how things were done. So what we're moving in direction is we're putting staff in place, security that are roving, the patrolling, and have more flexibility to be a first responder. So that's where we are. That's where we're going, trying to find good people, retain good people. Has been a little bit of a challenge. Some people might say, well, why would someone, an EMT, come here versus go and work for a hospital or something like that? You know why? Because it's a great place to work. We might not pay as much as, let's say, a hospital or something like that. However, we have great hours. We have great clientele. We have great benefits, and you don't have the exposure. These EMTs out in the world, they're dealing with a lot of things: drug overdoses, car wreck, all these things. And here, it's a little bit of a milder crowd, if you will. Good people, good environment, good family environment. So a lot of people are attracted to that. So we know we will do better with this, with the hiring over time. But we're getting some good people, and we're just excited. But as I go back to saying, training. So just be patient as we train. With that, transportation has been an issue, and continues to, we struggle. We're struggling for a couple of reasons. One is new people learning the process. And what we're finding is that we have different processes. Guilford does things a little different than West. And when you have someone that could be a Guilford today or West tomorrow, it's hard because it's not consistent. So what we've been doing is working with the staffing team, working with public safety to come up with a set of guidelines that we're rolling out across the board between both campuses, so that we have consistent how we set up a doctor's appointment. How do we schedule? We were having issues with time. We would say a time, one campus, when they say, oh, the program is from 11 to 1, when they said 1 means when they will be back at the campus. The other campus means, well, that's when they will leave the event. So there has been a lot of confusion. It's not been a fun process, but at least we're learning why things are happening, and we're working on fixing that. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for all of your feedback, letting us know when we hit the mark, when we did not hit the mark. What I'll share with you is that we are working on finalizing our resident handbook. I know we've been talking about this for a while. And once that handbook comes out, it's going to have a lot of the guidelines and understanding. So like one issue we continue to have with transportation is where you're picked up. And so I know Donna and Missy, I believe, have shared this in their weekly updates. Please adhere to where people are picking up. Please, at this point, do not ask for exceptions, because right now we need to be consistent. And when we start making exceptions, people get confused, and we don't because we're having a universal type worker, they might be at West today and Guilford tomorrow. That allows us the flexibility when we have call outs or turnovers that we're not up the creek because we don't have someone that understands the process. So right now we're trying to hold to the guidelines and the process. So wherever the pickup location is, please stick to that. And understand it might not be ideal for you personally, but again, as a community standpoint, we're trying to be consistent and fair. So that's transportation. Landscaping, grounds. We've been talking a lot at both campuses about this. And so one of the things that Steve Ruth, who's our ground supervisor, is out for about 8 to 10 weeks on medical leave. He's fine. He'll be fine, but he'll be coming back in about, say, 2 months. One of the things that Steve is going to work on when he gets back is he's going to work on a calendar, if you will, for the year. And that calendar is going to have information as far as when we do what, to what extent, who's responsible for what is done internally, what is done by the contractors. He's going to share that with the grounds and landscaping committee so that they can review it, look at it, punch holes in it, give feedback. And then once we get that vetted and settled, that's going to be what is our process. And so where that helps, where, people might say, well, you should trim the crepe myrtles, and maybe it's November. Well, we trim crepe myrtles in February, and it's done by someone outside, or whatever the case may be. It's going to be something that we, as a management and the grounds committee, landscaping committee, agree on. So that is what we'll use. Doesn't mean it might not need to be tweaked over time, but it's something that we can all agree on and kind of stick to, so we have consistency and an understanding. So we're looking forward to working with that because grounds is very important to us. Actually, I know, especially on the Guilford campus, the grounds and landscaping committee has been very advocating a lot for the courtyard over in Whittier. And I know the team over at Guilford is working to try to get a grant to help us with that courtyard, but also establish it in a way that can be sustained. So those are things that are important. When we first started out, what we heard consistently was we wanted simplicity with our landscaping, something that looks nice, can be maintained, have a couple hotspot areas, where we have the annuals and things like that. But for the most part, just clean and simple landscaping. So we'll continue to work on that. So very excited about that. Dining every week continues to get a little bit better. We continue to have transition as far as learning the process, learning the systems. I know I'm not here to say that everybody's getting their meal on time, even meal deliveries. Now that, we're doing that, and it's a little different. Consistency, we are still working, continue to give feedback and provide grace as we continue to streamline. I'm getting questions about when we will start allowing guests to join our residents in the dining room, and not quite there yet. We need to have our house in order. So still, as we're working on making sure we've got our dining program and meal service, to a good place, then we'll start, and especially with Governor Cooper, we'll probably wait until the first part of June to see what he has to say. Numbers are trending down, which is good. But we want to make sure our house is in order before we start allowing our guests to come in, because we want to make sure when they do come in, we can do it in a good way, and we don't embarrass you or anything else, because we know when you bring guests and family in, we want to make sure they have a good experience, just like we want you to have a good experience. So I will say the dining committee will continue to get feedback. For the most part, I'm getting really decent feedback as far as the program. I'm hearing consistently about the food quality improvement. Still making progress on the meal time, how long it's taking. We're doing good for the most part. Every week we're doing better. So I continue excited about that. I will share with you that we're taking in some feedback, and I think there's a dining committee coming up for Guilford very soon. I'm not sure when the next one is for West. We'll meet with them, and then the management teams will get together and kind of look at all the feedback we've been getting to see if we need to make any tweaks. For the most part, we feel the program is working. We're waiting for people to finish up their quarterly allowances to see how that's going. I'm getting most of my feedback I'm getting is that now we're a la carte. Most people are saying they have too much money and they feel like they're having to eat more. I'd rather say you have too much than not enough. But I will still encourage you. We knew that was going to most likely happen because now you're just paying for what you're eating. I will still encourage you to take advantage of these weekly specials. I just had a gentleman at West the other day that had the filet and talked about how wonderful it was, and he was using his excess dollars for that. So that's why we did this. We know it will not be perfect for everyone, but we feel for the majority of our residents, this transition has been a positive, not stressful. I mean, I know it's been stressful because it's change, but it's been a good transition, and it will continue to as we get into our new norm. We will find that it will be a very successful program. So very excited about that. Where I'm going to wrap up now is I want to talk to you about something very important as it relates to our committees. So you've heard me talk about dining. You've heard me talk about landscaping. We also, at both campuses, I believe, have a really good buildings facilities committee. And what I am seeing over the last several months, is a very nice transition with the people that are leading our committees and bringing really good, solid conversation and feedback for the programs they represent. What do I mean by that? When I first got here, I felt like our committees, our resident council was more of where you come to just tell us what's wrong. And over the past couple of years, what I sense is that we are transitioning because we're not perfect. I know that might come as a surprise, but we're not perfect. But if you have a relationship where the only time we talk is when to tell us what's wrong, it's not really a good relationship. Yes, if there's a problem, you let us know about it. We try to fix it. If it's not being met, a global problem is not being met, you can take it on up the chain. But the committees, the purpose of the committees and the council is really to be a connection between the residents and management to holistically help us make sure this is your home, that we're moving in the right direction. So when we think about how the committees are utilized, it's really a bigger picture type concept. What's working, what's not working, where do we want to focus on for the future? And that feedback helps us, it drives us to make sure that we have our eye on the ball. And so when I have participated in these committees, when I see the minutes from these committees, when I get feedback, I get a sense that's where we're moving. And I'm very excited about that because as a community, as a Quaker community, for us to have voice in the process is very, very important. So with that, I will continue to encourage you as individuals that if you have a passion for something, participate at the committee level, because that's where a lot of work is done. That's where it's not where you just come and drop a problem and walk away and expect someone to fix it. It's where you are part of the solution. And then that's communicated with management and you're part of that conversation. It's very important. It's very important. Now, I'm going to now promote utilizing Charlie. As you know, I've shared this, I think, over the last couple of meetings, we have a new position, our concierge, and that's Charlie Belinsky. And Charlie has been doing a great job. I will tell you, we still have a lot of people that are not calling Charlie. They're either calling Rose, or they're stopping by the front desk at Friends Homes Guilford. But the reason we have Charlie is our conduit. So work orders, anything, any kind of issues like that, Charlie is our voice to talk directly to the Ricky Joes, the Daryls for housekeeping, transportation, whatever, any issues that you have or concerns, she can get it to the right person. Because 8 times out of 10, what happens is when someone has an issue, they're going to, I'm making this up, say Ricky Joe or a Julian, and they will stop them in a hallway. And they usually, Ricky Joe and Julian are going somewhere, right, to deal with an issue or something. And they may not remember what the issue is or what the concern is. But what Charlie's doing is she's tracking this. She keeps up with it. She utilizes a database that tracks her work orders, concerns, and she's able to follow up. But she can be that conduit to keep you in the loop and have that relationship. So as you think of the true term of a concierge, that's what Charlie is. So I hope whether it's a spectrum issue or anything else, that you will call Charlie. If she cannot answer it, she will find the person that can help. And then what that does, that allows the team that's doing the actual work to continue working so they can get resolution to whatever the problem is. So use Charlie, participate in the committees, be part of the solution. And with everything else, as I continue to get ready to sign off, I want to thank you so much for making Friends Homes your home. I want to thank you again for your patience with us and this pandemic. I continue to give a shout out to you, the residents, your family, and our staff for all that they've sacrificed over the past year and how we've come out on the other side. So thank you for that. And I just appreciate everything that you have done. I also want to, as I sign off, I want to also give a shout out to already the annual giving campaign. As you know, we've kicked that off. The group that of residents and the board member that has helped us establish what our goal is for this year, as well as the purpose, has set a goal of $150,000 for Friends Homes. And the purpose, again, is to support residents' financial assistance, which, again, is something we all can get behind and appreciate, because it's a legacy from a standpoint of it supports the current need, which is way over $1 million a year. So we just kicked it off, and we're already raised $25,000 as of last week. And so it's a beautiful thing. I thank you for all your past support and current support and future support. If you've never supported the campaign in the past, I would encourage you to think about supporting it this year. If you want to learn more about it, please reach out to myself or Sarah Barker, who supports us with this endeavor. But I think we got an ice cream social coming up here very soon to tell a little bit more about the campaign and the benefits of it. So maybe I think it's in June, maybe July, but I think it's in June. So be on the lookout for that. But thank you again for all the ways that you support Friends Homes, not only from your presence, but from your contribution of time and your treasure and your talent. So God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy this beautiful spring weather, and enjoy May. It should be a beautiful month. Bye-bye.